Between illegally recording kids' conversations and selling them to advertisers, being able to talk to kids without parents knowing, and violating multiple child protection laws, the My Friend Cayla doll is one of the most controversial toys ever to exist. To understand how such a toy ever came to be, and how it was eventually banned for being a surveillance device, we need to travel back to 2014, when a company called Vivid Toys had big dreams for the future. In November of that year, the UK-based company announced the release of My Friend A doll for young girls that was supposed to revolutionize toys forever. At first glance, it seemed like a typical doll. It was 18 in height, you could dress her up with clothing and accessories, and it came in 3 different styles. However, what made Cayla so special was that it was the first ever internet-connected smart doll that boasted many features unlike anything else. On the market, she wore a necklace that acted as a listening device and had a speaker under her shirt, allowing kids to have real-time conversations about anything on the internet with the doll. You could ask her, "What's the tallest animal?" or "Why is the sky blue?" and she would respond with the correct answer in seconds.
What's 11 plus 7? It's 18.
This feature was all possible thanks to the My Friend Cayla app that connected to the doll via Bluetooth and translated kids' conversations into keywords, which he would then use to search an information database and answer the kids' questions. However, while all of these features seem exciting for a young child, the parents of these children were immediately put off by the technology of this doll. What if the child asked inappropriate questions? What if the doll could be hacked? These questions and many more were of concern for the adults. But Vivid Toys had answers ready to go. At the time of the unveiling, Vivid assured the parents that Cayla had high levels of security features, including Google Safe Search, which meant that kids wouldn't get answers to edgy questions. On top of that, Cayla's app searched the internet through a child-safe software program called Violet. It supposedly protected children from words parents didn't want them to hear, and offered customization options for the parents as well. These safeguards seemed to ease parents' fears across the UK, as Cayla became a smashing success in the country. It quickly became a top 10 toy among every major European retailer during Christmas time, and would later be named the 2014 Innovative Toy of the Year by the London Toy Association. At this point, it was clear that CB was a smash hit among millions of kids. So Vivid Toys made the obvious decision to sell the toy in the US. However, this expansion into the States would mark the beginning of Cayla's disastrous downfall. Vivid Toys had partnered with a brand new toy manufacturer called Genesis Toys to sell Cayla in the US. However, immediately after she hit store shelves, Genesis received some pretty serious allegations about the doll. These allegations started in January of 2015, when news broke out about a hacker who exposed a dangerous vulnerability within KLA software. That hacker's name was Ken Monroe, who worked with the cybersecurity firm Pentest Partners. He went on BBC World Tech News to show off how he could hack Cayla and get her to say whatever he wanted. And surprisingly, the method he used was so simple that you and I could pull it off. As mentioned previously, Kay used Bluetooth to connect to your phone, enabling her to use the internet to speak. However, Ken discovered that you could also use this Bluetooth connectivity to use Cayla as a remote speaker, which allowed the phone connected to the doll to play anything in her speakers.
Hello, Cayla.
I'm in charge now. You might think I am just a sweet toy, but now I have been hacked, I can say all sorts of scary things.
Because no verification code was required to pair to the doll. Anyone within 50 feet of her could easily connect and play whatever audio clip they wanted, or even talk through her in real time.
No one wants others to speak directly through the doll or use it to eavesdrop to what is being said. That this can happen from a long distance makes it even scarier.
But that's not even the worst of it. Another hacker named Tim Medin, the CEO of Red Siege Information Security, used the same Bluetooth exploit to record anything a child says to the doll. He was also able to bypass the Google Save search built into Cayla's software and get her to answer any inappropriate question he asked. But he noted that this could only be done under very rare circumstances. Regardless, you can see why these exploits could be very dangerous for kids using the doll unsupervised. But the list of allegations toward Cayla doesn't end there. Not only could anyone use Cayla to spy on kids, but Cayla herself was spying on kids too. After the news broke about Cayla's exploitable software, many watchdog groups, mainly located in Germany, started to explore more behind the curtains of the doll, and what they discovered was shocking. They found out that unbeknownst to anyone talking to her, Cayla recorded every conversation she had with kids and sent them to a database maintained by Genesis Toys' technology partner, Nuance Communications. Nuance is a speech-to-tech company that sells voice biometric services to military intelligence and law enforcement agencies. But the watchdog groups had reason to believe that they were selling these audio files to advertisers as well. Researchers found out that Cayla was pre-programmed with phrases and recommendations that clug Disney products, such as telling children that her favorite song is Let It Go from Disney's Frozen. The doll would also say she wanted to go to Epcot and Disney World and enjoyed visiting Disneyland, all of which is product placement for Disney that's not disclosed anywhere on the toy's box or in her app.
She's pre-programmed with a bunch of phrases. Some even reference Disney World and Disney movies. Disney is telling NBC News it does not have an agreement with the toy maker, and they were actually not even aware that Disney products were in Cayla's.
Cayla's targeted advertising toward children was the last straw for many, especially in Germany, where they banned the sale of Cayla because she was considered a surveillance device under German law. However, while an entire country banning the doll seems like a good indicator to investigate, the FTC never got involved in investigating Cayla. But a few advocacy groups wanted to change that on December 6, 2016, the Electronic Privacy Information Center, or EPIC, and a few other groups filed an official complaint in request for investigation to the FTC against Genesis and Nuance Communications. This 24-page bombshell fully exposes everything that my friend Kaya was capable of, including some things the public wasn't even aware of. For example, the research fact document revealed that Cayla was programmed to ask children many personal questions like who their parents, names or where they go to school, and where they live. The document also showed that Genesis collected the IP addresses of every Wi-Fi network the app was connected to, and proved that KO was in fact recording children's conversations and sending them to single IP address in Massachusetts, where Nuance was headquartered. Beyond that, the document went into great detail about the sketchiness behind Genesis's terms of service and where was available to read, which was nowhere, while Genesis claimed that they have the right to amend their terms of service for anything, reason, and that they would do their best to notify customers of any changes on their website. Their terms weren't available on the website or their app at all. The only way a customer could check their terms of service was a one-time pop-up message on the app, of which was 3,800 words long, contained numerous repeated paragraphs, and was hard to read because of the excessive use of all caps. Epic officially claimed that Genesis and Nuance Communication violated 9 different elements of COPPA laws and begged the FTC to investigate immediately, but they never did. This was a massive letdown to Epic and everyone supporting them, but at least it seems Genesis Toys received the backlash they deserved after the immense hate they received from millions of families who purchased Cayla. Genesis stopped selling the doll everywhere, including in the US and the UK. The only way to find Cayla today is on third-party sellers, and funny enough, in the Berlin Spy Museum and the Museum of Failure in Sweden.